Welcome to International Securities Exchange's podcast series. Facilitated by renowned educators, ISE podcasts are intended to teach beginning as well as seasoned investors the ins and outs of trading. To find an updated list of podcasts, please visit www.ise.com/podcasts. Please be sure to listen to our important message following this episode regarding the risks of investing in exchange-traded options.
So that is one of the things that I think that would really help you is to uncover, learning about what pivot points can do for you as far as different time values. I had here, and I'm not sure how to do it. If it's possible, Steve, can I screen share off my trading account and just jump over here and show them a chart live? It was one of the things I wanted to do and show them how the comparison on Yuck is and what the market did today and how it relates with these pivot points. Okay. So now, here we go. Let's take a look. First off, this is the ISE Euro Index, and what we have, what you're looking at is what we call the person's pivots. First off, this is the euro currency. Once again, when the euro currency futures go down, this index will go up. It's a reverse relationship. It's a little confusing, but I think you'll get it pretty quickly, especially when you start to see if these market trend conditions last. For example, I mean, look at the trend condition in this index from July, August, September, October, November, and December. The market had a significant trend, and then as you see at the end of December, the market reverses, and that's where we're at right now. We're testing this old. Yep.
Would you mind going back into that November? Because you called it perfectly out in Vegas, just based on your seasonality. I think you were actually saying, if I remember when you gave that presentation, that the euro was going to strengthen, which meant the dollar somewhere probably like in, I don't know, was that late November?
Well, the third week of October, the euro currency bottoms against the U.S. dollar. So that would mean that the euro currency would peak again. So that's what this did right here on this red bar right there.
So that meant the dollar actually sold off quite a bit.
And it did going into the first of the year.
Right.
Then after the first of the year, and this is a weekly chart, we can go to a daily chart more importantly.
Okay.
And it's a little more pronounced. So what we called was for a high in October, and then look for the market for this index or the dollar to get weaker against the euro currency, and that's exactly what it did.
That's exactly what you called. Guys, I was with John in mid-November, and that's exactly what he called. And look at that decline in the dollar all the way down from, let's say, 79 to, what's the low there, John, 67.81 roughly?
Exactly.
Wow. That's powerful. Hey, John, I got a question for you. How can everybody get the seasonality studies? Do you sell it on your website? How do they access that?
Well, we sell an advanced trading course so that people don't just get little information and get enough to be dangerous with. It's an entire course that teaches advanced pivot analysis. It teaches how to use the person pivot sentiment indicator correctly. The course is valued at I think there's if you email me, it's not posted on the website, but we had a special offer discount we did for some other folks for $589. I would extend that to your audience, Steve. It's something like $750 or $799 on the website. Obviously, I'm the world's worst salesman. I don't know these things.
Well, thanks, John. I'm sure you're.
But if you know what, any of your audience, if they wanted the special, just send me an email to jperson@nationalfutures.com and say, ISE webinar, I want, extend me the offer, please, if you're interested. Or call my office. The area code is 561-655-1881. We'll type that information, contact information at the end. But seriously, folks, the seasonality aspect and how to use it, it really helps you with your timing. Besides Steve witnessing and we were calling for this to occur, placing options and being able to use this information, that's a whale of a move. If I had told you not only that, but if I had told you that on or about the 2nd of January, which as you see right here, on or about the second trading day of January, you should then look for the opposite to occur. And this goes all the way up, and as you can see it is, and that's what's happening right now as we speak. this trend should continue with the dollar going up and the euro currency going down into March, by the way, folks, into March. But we're probably going to chop around and consolidate like we did in this area. One of the situations that we were definitely all over again, like white on rice, is definitely here in this market with the Japanese yen. Phenomenal. Remember, we talked about the yen and the futures peaking out, then it should bottom out on the ISE's index, and here it is, nice double bottom. There's your left side, here's your right side, and notice that we are coming up against this area. We are right now up against a significant resistance area, number one, but number two, folks, we're coming into a time frame where this may come right back down again. So in essence, one of the neat things about using seasonalities is not only to pick out what side of the market to be on, but then incorporate with pivot analysis, you're going to also be able to figure out what strike prices should you get in, what's the realm of reality, but more importantly, if you have the issue about getting and taking profits, and so many people have told me that's one of their number one issues. They don't have a problem pulling the trigger. Anyone can pull the trigger. It's where do you get out? Where's your risk and where's your profit objective? That's one of the key elements. One of the dangers of options trading and people just directional trading is they buy an option and they think to themselves, it's only a couple $100. I'll just buy a few of them. It's like eating potato chips. You buy a handful. And then all of a sudden time decay kicks in. The market doesn't move your way, and people go, well, that's okay. I'll do it again, or I'll get into something else, and I'm sure I'll make up for that. Well, if you do that like 10 times a year, you can certainly donate a lot of money to your brokerage firm, and unnecessarily. One does not need to trade all the time. One does not need to trade every day of the week. But you know what? Certainly if you can increase the quality of your trades, reduce the amount of times that you trade, you may increase your odds of being a more successful, more fruitful trader. And I know Steve's got a very active and long history in the industry, and maybe you've seen people that they only come to the exchange and trade certain times of the year, certain markets. It's what they know, it's what they do, and they make their money and they walk away. And they do that, it's what they know. I certainly have witnessed that in the Chicago exchanges, both the Merck and the Board of Trade, which is now CME Group, and I can share this with you. If I personally am going to look for seasonality and play for some options, it's darn hard to trade the future options. I can't do it. The bid and asks are too thin. But if you're going to look for a longer-term position trade and trade within that seasonalities, you can start to use, the secret is out of the bag, you can start to utilize information from the futures exchange and apply it to your stock portfolio by using these instruments. So, folks, I really thank you for your time in allowing me to share with you, how we look at certain things. Those are the books, if anyone's interested. The books I don't sell on my website, but certainly you can go to Amazon.com, type in my name, and you'll see those books. The Forex Conquered was a wonderful book, and
it was. I really enjoyed it, John. It's a great book.
Well, thank you. It really gives people an insight if they didn't want to spend a lot of money. It talked about candlesticks, my certain proprietary patterns, and it talked about, of course, some trading system and developments and things of that nature. I think that if you're interested in what the aspect and the essence of my seasonalities, really the Advanced Traders course is one of the courses. I've developed 3 trading courses. In fact, my first course was that blue one, folks. That course evolved from doing a private seminar to traders at the Chicago Board of Trade. I really wasn't in the business of training retail individual investors. I got into this kind of by osmosis and through demand. I did a presentation for members at the exchange. The PowerPoint presentation and the handouts that I made was exclusively for those folks and the exchange members. And then, word got out, and then I started to print it up. And then people wanted it just specifically for Forex. That's how we did that. And then I've done a couple 3-day events and 2-day live trading seminars, and we put together this Advanced Traders course, and that's what that all was about.
Thank you for listening to our podcast. To find more podcasts on options, stocks, alternative markets, and market data, please visit www.ise.com/podcasts.